How are you? I haven't seen you for a couple of days. Hope all is well with you. I am checking. Just want to look and see if any of our friends are alive. I'd have them up running. Right now I have Ivy up, I have Runner Boy up, and I have Dagmar up. Night Watcher says 1 minute left. Yeah, I'm a little early. So I don't see anyone else live. But I see that my kettlebell friend David Witten has just uploaded a video. It's been a minute, as you kids say. Laradox is here. Laradox, it was nice to see you live. I got to hang out for a little bit, and I kept you up and running for a bit. Help out with some watch hours. How close are you to reaching your goal? How close are you right now? I saw that it went up. I saw that you started at 380, and when I had to check out, you were at 381. So hey, every single subscriber is a great subscriber. Laradox says, cool dude. Night Watcher's bored. Hey, Night Watcher, are you subscribed to Laradox? Laradox is working hard to get to 400. Let's see if I can bring up his channel real quick. So as I mentioned, every subscriber counts. Every subscriber is a big deal. I don't take any one of you guys for granted. And, you know, if we can help each other in any way, it's a pretty important thing. Let's see. Our friend C. Payton is here. Kathy, how are you? Are you feeling better? The last time you had an opportunity to stop by, you were experiencing some stress. You had a headache. I hope things are better. Night Watcher says, but thankfully mods get to go to the chatters channels. That's why you're a moderator, Night Watcher. Laradox says, can you tell everyone about my goal, Yogi? I certainly can. I will do my best. For those who haven't heard, our friend Laradox is striving for 400 subscribers, and he's getting closer and closer. Definitely worth going and checking out. Laradox dropped by here. It's been a couple weeks now to chat on a live stream, and he quickly became a friend. Quickly became a regular and a friend. Night Watcher says his internet is having an aneurysm. That's not good. Kathy says hanging in there, still working on things. Well, I hope that it's a little less stressful for you. I'm just queuing a few things up. So forgive me if I'm getting off to a slow start. If I'm getting off to a slow start. You hear that echo? That's because I'm going over to my desktop and hitting my own live stream, and then I do everything backwards because I am completely not tech savvy at all. I'm sure there's an easier way to go to Laradox's channel, but this way worked for me. I just wanted to check in and see where he stood. Hey, before he went on his live stream earlier, he was at 380, and he ended for the day with 385. So that's a big plus. And if our friend Night Watcher subscribes, that'll bring him up to 386. Like the way I did my math there? Night Watcher says, my parents took away my phone and laptop because of my irregular sleeping schedule. But I hid my little brother's tablet. One step ahead. I don't think you're supposed to tell me that stuff, Night Watcher. Don't think you're supposed to confess to me. I'm absolutely certain that my stepdaughter probably did similar stuff. When Mocha, I've mentioned before, Mocha serving 23 years in the Air Force, she did a tour in Iraq in 2008, and that left me as the sole parental figure for my stepdaughter for a year. And although I had been a stepfather for several years at that time, I felt slightly unprepared. Well, no, I felt greatly underprepared to be that type of provider by myself, as a step parent especially. But you didn't really have much choice. Peyton says, Peyton says, I always have my daughter help me with tech stuff. Yeah, I get Mocha to help, and Anika doesn't live here with me any longer. Well, not in the house that we had together. So she used to help me quite a bit. It is what it is. Fresh off the burpee train. Or is it the burpee bus? With Lewis, I think it's a burpee train because the bus is just too damn slow. It's upgraded. Says, good morning, YouTube family. Lewis, how are you? It took me a second with Night Watcher shortening things, saying hello to ITWI. I don't know why it took me so long. Our friend Flower is here saying hello. Kathy says I have to have my daughter's help. Yeah, I think it's a generational thing. Although, technically, me being Generation X, you know, we were sliding into the computer era at the time. But I didn't get the gene. I'm not good with it at all. Night Watcher is showing off his wrench. You notice how I'm skipping past some of the hellos. I'm learning my lesson. Falling behind. I fell behind pretty big last night on the live stream. And I don't think everyone was too happy about that. Well, most people at this point who come into the live stream and know that I have a bit of a slower pace in life than a lot of others, take it in stride. That which says the shadows are blue. Yep. There's no one wielding any more power than anyone else. Laradox says sub. So, I'll mention once again, our friend Laradox is looking for some help, looking for some support. So if you guys would like to subscribe, he would much appreciate it. So, last night, speaking of last night live stream again, I mentioned, channels. Some people have the channels where it's all about making connections, and I really appreciate those channels. I have the subscribers that I have now. I have some of the friends that I have now. C. Payton being one of them. C. Payton being a very important one of them. That I met through those channels. They're absolutely awesome, and no one does it better than Mayhem and Miracles. If you guys, Laradox, if you want to grow your channel, visit Mayhem and Miracles. She's on my community page. I showed out her last live stream. So, and I think that was Monday. The next time she does a live stream, Laradox, if you go, here's the thing. You gotta work for it. Meaning, if you show up at Mayhem and Miracles and you ask for help, and at the same time you help others, you'll grow your channel in no time at all. In one visit, I'd be willing to bet you would get to 400. She might be going live today, so it's worth checking. I keep refreshing to see if anyone's live. But again, it is definitely worth checking in. Game Skype Gype is another. But with Masha, it's almost a fail-safe. Mayhem and Miracles. That if you go there, you're going to grow your channel. And you're going to do a really good thing. You're going to help others grow their channel. Hello is giving out nicknames. Newt Watcher shall be your new nickname. So Laradox, if you're still here, if you're listening, Mayhem and Miracles. Guaranteed to work. But as I was mentioning, last night was a fun live session because a lot of people have got to make some really good connections. But I sort of need to reiterate that I'm not the channel connecting channel for a lot of reasons. Mainly, I don't really have the technology. I don't have the mental skill to put that in action, nor the physical means that I know of. Kathy says that's a good channel to go. Masha is awesome. She is, absolutely so. And I wouldn't have the subscribers, and more importantly, and I mention this to whenever she stops by, the importance of Masha's channel isn't to gain subscribers, it's to gain friends and supporters. Because I made lots of subscribers through, I don't know how. Some of them might actually be bots. But my channel grew, I got subscribers. I didn't necessarily have friends. I didn't necessarily have supporters. But working with Masha, where you go to help other people. The main point of me going to Mayhem and Miracles isn't so much to gain subscribers as to find out, hey, who needs support? Who can I subscribe to? And then, of course, you get things back. It's the way life works, that when you help others, you are helped in return. Maybe not by everyone, but by enough, and by those that really count. I'd rather have one C. Payton and one Flower and one Night Watcher than 500 additional subscribers that aren't my friends, that don't show up just to chat. And if you look at the chat right now, we got Flower and Night Watcher having a complete conversation of their own. And that's a good thing. It means they became friends. And I love seeing that. Flower asks, does anyone know Wolf Walkers? I don't. So although my channel isn't officially a connection channel, I'm really happy when connections are made, and whenever I'm able, I'm definitely going to encourage it. But as far as what my channel is live stream, what I really want to do is offer inspiration. I'm not saying that I'm personally going to inspire someone, but that we're going to talk about inspiration. We're going to talk about what inspires you to do what you do. What can you do for your channel? And a couple people have asked me, what should I do with my channel? And the answer is always, what is it that inspires you? Follow that passion. If you guys know of Joseph Campbell, was a famous mythologist, and his advice was follow your bliss. Now, a lot of people took that as in do what makes you happy, but you have to remember Joseph Campbell was steeped in Eastern mysticism. So when he said follow your bliss, what he really meant was follow your dharma, follow your purpose, because when you're on purpose, you're in your bliss, you're happy. And his term bliss really sort of aligned with the Eastern thought of Ananda, which is bliss consciousness. Night Watcher says, Yogi, just be talking about me like I'm a kid. He doesn't know anything. When would I ever talk to you about something like that? If I felt that way about you, I wouldn't be having conversations with you, and you certainly wouldn't have gotten a wrench, Night Watcher. Everyone that ever comes in here is treated 100% as an equal. And anyone who doesn't treat others like an equal doesn't really get the point. Our friend Charlie is back. Charlie 559. I'm back. I'm here. Appreciate that. The reason why I mentioned Flower and Night Watcher having their own conversation was, again, and I'll say it one more time, it's a good thing. I appreciate it. Our friend Squirrel Sniper is here, greeting beautiful souls from across the pond, but under the same skies. Tall trees today, white poplar. Awesome. How tall are we talking about, Squirrel Sniper? Charlie says, hey, Eric, I asked a question, and you said to let me ask it again on the next live stream. And so I'm asking it again. What's your favorite author. Who's your favorite author? And I did give that some thought. I'm thinking of the books that I reread once, twice a year. I'm going to have to go with fiction. It's either Jack Kerouac, Dharma Bums, which I've reread at least once a year for over 40 years. Not to age myself. Larry McMurtry, who wrote the perfect novel, Lonesome Dove. It doesn't get better than Lonesome Dove. And then right now in nonfiction, last year I read quite a bit of Stephen Cope, who was a yoga teacher at Kripala Yoga. He's written some great books detailing the path of yoga, the complete path, the Bhagavad Gita as well. So Stephen Cope, Jack Kerouac, and Larry McMurtry, all of which is subject to change. They always will remain a favorite, but things shift within a year. And something might occur to me. Flower says, Night Watcher says hello to Squirrel, as says Flower. Night Watcher says, NLG, I don't know what that means. I just come to stream to talk to Flower. Hey, I don't blame you for that. She's a great person to talk to. And Charlie says, through good authors. Thanks. So let me return the question. The same question, Charlie. Who's your favorite author? And, hey, anyone else that has a favorite author? I'd be interested to hear Squirrel Sniper's favorite author, as well as Kathy C. Payton, if she's still here. Let's see. Squirrel Sniper says, Deadwood, the crown of two. Poplar's tallest, about 55 meters. Wow. Flower says, NGL is not going to lie. I may or may not remember that. What I could say was NGL, I may or may not remember that. I'm showing everyone how young and hip I am at heart. So, circling back around, talking about inspiration, talking about what we can do with our channels. Personally, I think every channel should be of some type of service for others, larger than the YouTube community. Just putting stuff out there that, man, when we're inspired, we just feel like better people. Flower wants to know if Chris stopped by yesterday. He has not stopped by yet. I haven't given up hope yet. He might. Charles Fort is my favorite. Not familiar, but since I have Amazon right in front of me, I have a book arriving from Amazon today. Cormac McCarthy, based on what I can't remember who it was, suggested for me. Nightwatcher says he doesn't read books other than comics. So, 2 questions for you, Nightwatcher. Marvel or DC or both? And what's your favorite comic? I think Squirrel Sniper, you mentioned Charles Fort, The Book of the Damned. Interesting. And I see some are actually free on Kindle. I like the title Wild Talents. So I might actually get that for my Kindle. I can't beat the price. I can actually read it for free, or I could buy it for 99 cents. And our friend Flower is showing off her skills, or art skills. Charlie says, now that really depends on the book. Like, I'm into books that seem real, but are not real, so nonfiction. But Amy King is a great author. You know, someone else mentioned Amy King not long ago. That's who I'm reading now. She's a great author for my needs. All right, let me check her out. It's a great suggestion from Squirrel Sniper. And who was it again? That was Amy King. I like the first title that popped up, The Year We Fell from Space. That looks really good, Charlie. Kathy says, be right back. Need to change phones. We'll be here. So if we're talking poetry, my favorite poets, they go in and out. I mean, they always stay favorites. You know, Rumi is a perennial favorite. Let's see. I've been reading Galway Kinnell, Irish poet. I've read one of his poems here a couple times. I might read it again. Scorpio says, Night Watcher, that's because you haven't found the one yet. It will happen. Good advice from Squirrel Sniper. Night Watcher says, I don't read Western, but still Marvel. I read Korean and Japanese manga and manhwa. I haven't heard of the last. All reading is good reading, as far as I'm concerned. Squirrel Sniper says Charles Fort is an old author. It's a collection of factual events worldwide 100 years ago. Interesting. Yeah, I'm going to purchase the book. Which one was it? The Wild Talent. Flower says, I like, boy, you guys make things difficult for me. I like isekai anime. How close did I get? YOLO says, Moby doing burpees. You know, that's not a bad comparison. I get a lot of different ones from time to time. But Moby, you know what? I'll take that, especially Moby doing burpees. Moby's a vegan, so we got that in common. We both wear glasses. We both have a shaved head. I'm not really much into techno, though, musically. So that's where Moby loses me. Nightwatch says, you can tell Flower is a kid from that one sentence. Uh-oh, Flower's getting a little defensive there. Not defensive, standing up for herself. That's a better way. Squirrel Sniper says, Nightwatcher, I hear you. My first book was around 6 years old, learning to read The Art of War. It's a good book. Gives you a strategy for life. Conversely, one of my favorite books is a play on that title. The War of Art by Steven Pressfield, who wrote one of my favorite books, The Legend of Bagger Vance, favorite fiction books, which they made into a movie with Will Smith. Not a very good movie. Didn't have much to do with the book. The book itself is an allegory for the Bhagavad Gita, using golf. Bagger Vance, Bhagavad. And it's a wonderful book. And you really do get the essence of the Bhagavad Gita from the book. As well, being a golf book, they talk about finding the authentic swing. And then you can apply that to anything. If you're a painter, finding your authentic stroke. If you're a writer, it's finding that authentic line. Whatever you do. Hey, if you're a Moby-looking burpee practitioner, it's finding the perfect burpee. Or the perfect swipe with a chainsaw for Squirrel Sniper. Or the many things that he does. So anyway, he wrote the book, The War of Art, and he likens it to turning professional, becoming a professional artist, which has nothing to do with making money and everything to do with your commitment. When I read this in 1999, it changed my writing. Steven Pressfield said, until he turned pro, he was not just an amateur, he just played at writing. It's when he decided to be serious about it and write every single day that everything changed for him. Because a writer shows up at his desk. Doesn't matter if he's inspired or not. He uses the example of Somerset Maugham, the playwright novelist, another one of my favorite, who wrote The Razor's Edge, which is a book that really helped set me on the spiritual path when I was just a kid. Somerset Maugham was interviewed by a group of creative writing students, and he was asked, is it more important to write when you're inspired, to write by inspiration, or by appointment? And he said it's always better to write by inspiration, but fortunately, inspiration shows up at his desk every morning at 9 a.m. You set that commitment. You make yourself available, because inspiration is always present. There's times you don't feel it, and that's because you haven't made yourself available to it. So make yourself available in front of the easel at your desk. Whatever it is you do, having your pen or pencil in your hand. Now you're available. You got that empty book in front of you. Now you're available. And wait. Don't be afraid of emptiness, because emptiness is the pure potentiality for creativity to take place. That actually sounds like a good title, Flower. The time I got reincarnated. Hey, that reminds me of a Philip K. Dick. And Charlie, if you're around, I'm going to add Philip K. Dick to my list of some favorite writers. Oh, man. How could I forget Tom Robbins? And maybe my all-time, I even got a tattoo in his honor. You guys can't see it. It's the figure of Pan and Jitterbug perfume. See paint in his back. I appreciate you coming back. Flower says techno, and she's laughing. John is here. John Paul says, hi, new here. Hello, my friend. Welcome. I appreciate you stopping by. Flower says she misses techno, but she has a laughing. From what she told me, that's laughing. So I don't think she really misses techno. It is what it is. It says, Erica just saw Sister Destiny do 122 burpees. Wow. Something inspired her. My guess, she watched an Is What It Is video. I had no choice. She felt the burpee spirit move through her, and she had no choice but to do 122 burpees. Charlie says, speaking of books, what is the recommendation of a book? Do you want a recommendation for fiction or nonfiction? Or, you know what? Let's do both. Don't know 100% what your interests are. I think you heard me mention Tom Robbins' Jitterbug Perfume. It's about perfume, immortality, and the disappearance of the disappearing of the god Pan, and lots of other things in between. It's a wonderful work of fiction. I like those books that they set me on a path. I mentioned reading Born to Run, and in I read the first paragraph in a bookstore, waiting in line to buy a completely different book. And I had no intention of buying it. I was just sort of leafing through it. And at that moment, 2009, I became an ultra runner. I ran for fitness. I was training for something else. So I would run as part of my training. But I wasn't a racer. And I certainly had never considered running 100 miles. But one paragraph of that book, and in an instant, I became a meditator. Same as when I read Autobiography of a Yogi, 1980 something, and I instantly became a yogi. I knew my life path was yoga. So I'd recommend that too. Autobiography of a Yogi, nonfiction. So guys, I don't know if you saw Lewis just mentioned, our friend Destiny just did 122 burpees. Lewis says she's a burpee queen. She took that challenge and ran. So proud of her. Yep, we all are. That's absolutely amazing. No one steps up like Destiny steps up. Flower says, I'm wondering why I'm getting a happiness attack by seeing DSMP members getting mentioned. I don't know what DSMP is. Let's see. Charlie says, okay, great. And I'm around. Awesome. Night Watcher says, are you laughing or crying? I have that same question. Kathy says, it's awesome. It is what it is. Yeah, it is. Destiny has some serious energy. Ah, and there she is. Destiny Forever Walks PhD is here. Asking how I am. I'm good. Destiny, how are you? After 122 burpees. You did more burpees than I did today. It is what it is says. The queen herself is here. Yeah, I think with today, Destiny has claimed that title, and I don't think there's going to be any relinquishing of the title of Burpee Queen. We got a new favorite emoji from Flower. Destiny says 116 burpees in 22 minutes. That's awesome. Man, that's really awesome. Lewis says, oh yeah, Destiny has claimed it, period. Yep. We can retire. There's no other consideration. Destiny saying hi to Lewis. C. Payton says that she is proud of you, Destiny. Lewis says, Destiny, you are amazing. I agree with both of those. 100%. So, you know, that's another thing. I'm going to keep on this theme of inspiration. For me, live streaming, it's not my inspiration that I want to offer others. I'm not trying to inspire anyone, but I just want to keep talking about the things that inspire you. And having people here like Destiny who can inspire others to do things. Having people here like Kathy right now, who's putting her all into a project, a very important project. Like it is what it is. Whose main purpose of his channel is inspiration. So instead of me coming here and saying, you know, what I want to do is inspire all of you, what I want to do is have all of you guys here and just be inspired. Do what you do and share it and talk about it. And if connections are made, that's completely awesome. More importantly, though, it's a place to hang out. Obviously, my preference is to always talk about, for lack of a better word, spiritual matters. That's the whole basis of my channel. That's the whole basis of just a yogi. A yogi is someone who's firmly on the path of God realization, that the end of the yogic path is samadhi, which is bliss consciousness, the realization of God. And it begins with ethical foundations. So the great thing about that is it's all spiritual, every little bit of it, every aspect of life, from a single burpee to 116 burpees in 22 minutes to having your burpee channel be there to inspire others, to work on a great project like C. Peyton is doing, to have great conversations with our friend Nightwatcher and Flower, to have Squirrel Sniper and all he does, from his tree work and his chainsaw art to the great comments that he drops here that always leave me intrigued and wanting to learn more. And our new friend Charlie coming in here, talking books. There it is in a nutshell, my friends. That's what my channel, the live stream, is all about. Not what you want to know if Destiny is a dietitian. Let's see. Destiny says, to it is what it is, hashtag burpees. God above all. Do you really think so? I hear you, Lewis. Lewis says yes. Kathy says, can I message you on Instagram and tell you what's going on? Yeah, definitely. 100%. Lewis says, I noticed Sister Destiny, and you took that and ran with it. Amazing performance. I'm going to be checking it out. Uh-oh. It is what it is. Just threw down the gauntlet. Kay is going to have some serious burpees to do to be able to catch up now, Destiny. A line has been drawn in the sand by it is what it is. Kathy says, okay. I'll be checking for it. Flower says she popped into Lewis's today. I was there too. And, you know, that really makes me happy, Flower, that you would pop in and show our friend it is what it is some support. Lewis says it has to be me who says it. I think so. I don't think anyone else is strong enough to bear that declaration, Lewis. Destiny says, I am a wayfarer that travels throughout these YouTube streets. I see and hear everything. So much you hear on these YouTube streets truly inspires me to up my game. You certainly did today. That's a huge jump. What was it? 73 last time? 70 something. Yeah, to make that jump, that's awesome. That also shows you how effective the things that you do really are. How effective the treadmill dancing is to keep you in shape. Treadmill dancing with band work, sometimes with dumbbells, sometimes with a kettlebell, the rope jumping, all of that. I know lots of people who struggle to work their way up to 100 burpees. I agree with that. It is what it is. That's a huge step. Bestowing a crown upon a queen ceremony. That a burpee queen has been declared. Vesselina is here. Hello, my friend. How are you? She's asking how I am. I'm doing well. Appreciate you being here. How is everything with you? So let's give a quick look on YouTube just to see if any of our friends are live. I see Destiny's video is up, so I'm going to be queuing that up soon. I'll be watching it. Selena says, doing well. Have yet to do burpees. Think about them each day. The best thing to do, just jump right in. Get in a warm up. Loosen up the hips, lower back, the shoulders, and the wrist, especially the wrist. And just jump right in. Set a clock. 5 minutes. When a clock is ticking, it takes away the objective of choice. So even if you got one burpee in a 5-minute period of time, now you've started. You're on the path. You're on the burpee wagon, on the burpee bus. It only takes one. It only takes a burpee. Flower says, how are you, Miss Messalina? Destiny says, 76 burpees last time, Eric. I went from 2 to 14 to 47 to 76, and now 116. Now I feel at peace with myself. Hashtag, I did it my way for me and no one else. That's the way to do it. Besselina says, does it help to tighten the core abs? It definitely does. It's really a full core exercise. You get the you get a contraction. You're in the plank position for a period of time. You're working the lower abs, you're working the obliques, and you're working the upper abs as well. People often, when we think core, we think just abs, and we don't realize that the core also involves the lower back, the hips, the abductor and adductor, as well as the glutes. And all of that is really being worked. You can up your burpee game by doing what's called a squat chaser. So you do a burpee and you follow it with a squat. And then you do another burpee and another squat. Now you're really working the lower body and the core really, really effectively. And at the same time, you're burning fat, you're getting a cardiovascular workout, and you're building strength. It's really a standalone movement, and there's not many of those around. Even without the push-up, if you watch our friend Kay Renee's Garden, and there's many, many reasons to go watch Kay Renee's Garden, one of the best gardening channels on YouTube. And there's just so much great fitness advice, as well as being able to follow along with her. If you got a Peloton bike, you can go and you can Peloton with Kay. But if you watch her burpees, they're all very, very smooth, and she's not doing the push-up. She doesn't need to do the push-up. The official burpee doesn't have a push-up, but she's still getting that upper body work in because you're in that plank position. You're holding yourself. Little do people know when they ask me a simple question about burpees that it's going to be a 10-minute burpee rant. It is what it is says, one burpee at a time, 100%. That's all about. I'm going to shout out Kay again. She started last month, the month of April, adding a burpee every day until she reached 31. And she didn't start off with one because she wanted to, I think she started out with 10, I think. And then she just kept adding. And then Bessalina, you can check out our friend Destiny, who did 116 today, 22 minutes. Destiny says, thanks, it is what it is, for your inspiration, and also thanks for your comment. I ran across. It makes me wonder, is Kay going to run across the message from It Is What It Is? Vaseline is saying hi to Flower. And Lewis says, appreciate you, Sister Destiny. You rock. Yep, she certainly does. Vaselina says, I like that. Thanks. So, I recommended doing, starting at 5 minutes. But, hey, you could do it just adding, pick a month. Hey, we're only 8 days in May. So do one burpee today. Do 2 burpees tomorrow. There's infinite ways. So the important thing is not getting lost in the start. That, well, I can't start until I get the right shoes. I can't start until I get a burpee mat. I can't start until... you can always start. The beginning is the beginning. And it's always here. It's always present. It's always the beginning. Squirrel Simper says, the hardest for me was to find my core again after my fall. The best was kneeling on a large ball, just balancing for 2 seconds at a time. Yeah, that would work. For those who might have missed earlier conversations, Squirrel Sniper was in a severe accident, injuring his back. Flower likes giving nicknames. Destiny says to It Is What It Is. Kay can do it, and she will succeed. You got her, coach, and you're a great coach to her. Our friend Odom is here. Says, hey, just a Yogi doing burpees in his basement and chat. Been listening. Been a busy day at work. Hope everything is well with you, Odom. Lewis says, yes, you will, Sister Destiny. And, the great thing of many great things about a burpee, but it doesn't have to be limited to just the burpee. As I mentioned with the squat chaser, but you could also jump rope. You could do 10 skips, 20 skips, and 1 burpee. You could follow it up with more skipping and then do 2 burpees. And you could keep going back and forth until you get to 5 burpees. So now you've gotten, you've doubled up in your cardio, you've gotten more lower body work, and you're getting your burpees in. It is what it is says, oh, you know, Kay's going to see it, and her eyes are going to pop. She might have already seen it right now. She might be, at this very moment, looking in the mirror, getting the eye of the tiger. She might be looking at a picture of It Is What It Is, saying, I don't know, saying something. Let's see. Charlie's back. Charlie, welcome back. See, Peyton says hi to Vesselina. So many of you guys have wrenches, so I hope you connect. Hope you guys reach out to each other, make some friends. We got some interesting facts from Night Watcher. The fastest slug in the world is the Sigmai. I know that's wrong. No need to correct me because I know it's wrong. Slug, it's the scientific name, is Sigmai beluso. Interesting. And how fast is the fastest slug in the world? And how slow is the slowest, for comparison's sake? How slow is the slowest slug of the world? I actually wrote about slugs last year. I had one visiting on my doorstep. I'm assuming it's the same one. I'm not a slug expert, so I had no way of identifying it. I'd like to think it was the same one. I love to think of, I mentioned before, a kinship with all life, that we're in conversation with everything. We can just as easily be in a conversation with a slug if we open our heart. If we're not listening with our ears, but we're listening with soul. Getting rid of the divide. If we think of nature in terms of the divine, God's creation, then a slug is as divine as a cardinal or an eagle or anything else. It's all life. It's all sacred. Laura says, my live is lagging. Our friend UK Medic was here yesterday, and he thought that my live stream was lagging. It was a technical problem. He had not realized that I'm just really slow in all of my comments. Which I thought was pretty funny. Let's see. Destiny says, "Hello and blessings to my favorite Strawberry King." Man, that's some kind of a title. I like that one. That fits Odom perfectly. Strawberry King. Or Fig. Definitely King of the Figs. Vesselina says, I'm walking home in the hot streets of Manhattan. See you later. Take care, Vesselina. Thank you for stopping in. Be safe on your walk. And keep us posted on the burpee journey. Night Watcher says, as I was saying, I'm going to shorten it to the slug. The fastest slug in the world is very big and is shaped like a sack. Vesselina says bye to everyone. Take care, my friend. Destiny says, welcome in, everyone. Please smash the like button, thumbs up, and cheer out this super amazing channel. Thank you for that. That Watcher says, I wonder how long it'll take Flower to realize. Realize what? Flower says, why do I miss the 37-year-old dude I met online? How do I even remember his age? You know who I'm referring to. Good job. You know, Chris K came in and chatted, became a friend. He might be back. Hopefully, Michael will be back. Let's see. Flower says he died on June 30th. Oh, we're talking about someone different. Bro died after my birthday. Sorry to hear that. Destiny says, I'm just here listening and doing breath work, taming my energy. Thanks for your compliments and amazing topics. Thank you. I'm glad to hear you doing breath work. Love talking about breath work. Love teaching breath work. Such an amazing practice. And always sort of makes me wonder single most effective way of changing your biochemistry, changing your pH balance, literally shifting your energetic state from sympathetic to parasympathetic, from parasympathetic back to sympathetic, any way you want to go. You can go from in that almost near panic, fight or flight, to rest and digest in 10 breaths. It's life changing. And the more you do it, the more in yogic psychology, we talk about the samskaras, which are the mental, emotional imprints that we develop through a lifetime. Although in yogic philosophy, they'll add in through many lifetimes. Doesn't matter if you believe that or not. But we all know that they're there. Something happens, something stress inducing, we have a set way of doing that. When our spouse triggers something, we have a set way of responding. When we're cut off in traffic, when we're bumped into, when someone is rude to us, an automatic reaction. But we can change that. Simply becoming aware that's so begins to change it. One of the best ways of gaining that awareness, simply doing breath work. What we recommend, by we, my first certification for breath work was yoga body. And 3 times a day, 3 sessions a day. None of it's for very long. All of it is under 5 minutes, really 3 minutes or so, and therapeutically as needed. And by that, it means if you find yourself in need of energy, you do a specific breath to bring you up. If you find that you need to calm down a bit to de-stress, then you do another different kind of breath work to bring you back down. Charlie says hi. Odom says figs. The Fig King. Destiny says, please don't forget to hit the like button and cheer out. Host awesome channel. Leave a huge thumbprint on the like button. Thank you for that. So if anyone ever wants instructions or help or suggestions with breath work, I mentioned before, being a certified breath coach through Yoga Body, as well as a yogic pranayama breath coach, is a slight difference. Both are breath work, both use the same things, but with pranayama, it's done more as preparation for our spiritual practice, preparation for meditation. With the breath work, we can think of it as just a very deeply profound emotional, physical, psychological tool that helps us achieve an easier life. And I'm definitely willing to um, help anyone. Destiny dropped a link for our friend. It is what it is. Odom says 12 pounds of strawberries in the past 2 weeks. Wow, that's awesome. 12 pounds. So I know you made jam with some of that. Flower says, I've dreamt about you guys. And we got the link dropped for Kay. Flower says, maybe you're right the first time about Chris, but the June 30th, my guy named Technoblade is another guy. Well, I'm sorry for your loss, Flower. Destiny says, check out Odom. Check out Odom and 12 pounds of strawberries. That's some serious growing. That's a testament to Odom's green thumb and why that's his passion. Not everyone has that. Moga talks about that a bit. She would love to be able to grow things. She doesn't believe she has a green thumb. I personally think that you can develop it if you have the love and the passion, which I think is a prerequisite for anything. You don't do 116 burpees in 22 minutes without a love of fitness, without a love of motion, without love itself. You don't do 1,000 burpees like it is what it is unless you absolutely love motion. You don't get 12 pounds of strawberries unless you love planting. Flower says that at 22 or 23. And again, I'm sorry to hear that, Flower. Let's see. C. Peyton says, I messaged you. We're probably going to end the live session in about 10 minutes or so. And I'm going to go check it out. It actually popped up at the top of my phone saying message from C. Peyton. So I will be checking that out very shortly. Desi says, much love and respect. It is what it is. Hashtag burpee. Ah, God above all. So talent's important. I don't consider myself, I'm passionate about my writing. I write every day. I don't miss a day. I've written every day for over 25 years now. I mentioned reading the book, The War of Art, Stephen Pressfield, where he talks about turning pro. And a pro is just someone who shows up to do that which they love every day. Made such a huge impact on me that I instantly knew that's what I had to do. And I started writing, and I kept doing it, and I still do it. I've been doing 5 a.m. readings, live readings every morning of the stuff that I write. And I don't consider myself the most talented writer, but I absolutely love writing. And as I mentioned, I personally think that passion and love are the prerequisite for developing talent to show up. Repetition. You get good at something by repetition, and you do repetitions because you love something. Um, if you just do the reps for the sake of reps, eventually you'll give up without love. Love is the fuel that gets us from point A to point B. Love is the fuel that makes us realize that there's a point B. And love is also the fuel um, that makes us realize it's not all about reaching point B. We don't always need to reach that. I'm not going to be a famous writer. I flirted with that at one point in my life. I had gained a little bit in the early days of the internet. I had gained just a little bit of recognition. I was flown up to Toronto to do some poetry readings, uh, other places as well. Flown to Florida once for a poetry reading. I had some self-published books that sold, um, not great, but they sold. Um, but in no way was I ever going to make a living from it, which is absolutely fine. What I realized, um, again, I didn't have to be a professional writer. I didn't have to be what other people considered a successful writer. Here's what made me a successful writer. I wrote every day. I write every day now. And I'm writing 100% directly from my heart, the things that I care about, the things that I'm passionate about. Um, and I get to do it in a way that is uniquely mine. As he says, you're so amazing, Eric. Thank you for your kindness and gentle spirit. There's no one quite like you. Just Yogi doing burpees in his basement. Thank you for that. Hashtag uh, gentle and kind, soul full of love. I'm slowly learning to decipher hashtags. Amazing, the little things that we take pride in. But we do. I like it. Nightward says, if you say the N word, we're all dead. I really hope that wouldn't even be a thought for anyone here. I can't imagine it would be. Destiny says, please don't forget to hit the like button and share out the host's awesome channel. Leave a huge thumbprint. Sergio says, why die if you can be happy? That's an interesting statement. Man, we could probably unpack that in several different ways, which shows really what a good statement can do, that you can unpack it. I'm thinking through that right now, and like I said, I appreciate comments like that because it stops you. It almost stops the thought process, which is important because then you get to intuit. You can think something to death until it no longer has meaning because you're thinking and you're thinking and you're thinking. But if you open up your heart center and just see what happens, then you can maybe uncover an important truth. My thoughts would be that ultimate happiness, one, that happiness is the way we view it in the West, at least, based upon conditions. Happy when I'm alive, I'm going to be unhappy when I'm dead. Happy when I'm well, I'm going to be unhappy when I'm sick. Happy when I have money, unhappy when I don't. And of course, life is, as Buddha said, based on a transient nature. That you're not always going to have money, you're not always going to be poor, You're not always going to be well. You're not always going to be sick. Um, but joy or ananda or bliss consciousness is a different form of happiness, and it's not based upon objectivity. Um, and in that case, death is simply part of life, and life is simply part of death. Um, just reading this morning in the Bhagavad Gita how we came from the manifest to now the manifest, and then we will go back to the manifest. Why is there any cause for sorrow in a natural process of how things go? The only reason there's sorrow is because we've forgotten that we come from spirit. Now here, it's a vibratory experience. And eventually we go into that more subtle vibratory experience of the unmanifest. Do we come back? I don't know. Um, Probably. We know what's alive right now is going to die. So why not view it the other way around? What is viewed or seemed to be dead right now will be alive. In fact, it already is. It's just in a different state. As we know from quantum physics, that energy can't be destroyed nor created. So, Sergio, I appreciate that comment. Flower says, because I want to know what happens after death. Um, you know what's more important than that? Know what happens during life. Because what you have right now is all you have right now. And when you understand that, then you're understanding life and you're truly, truly alive. You're truly living. You realize the experiencer of experience. Did I miss something in the comments, Night Watcher? I see we got some message retracted. I appreciate you guys being on the ball. That's why you got wrenches. Desi says, y'all here are the best people on the YouTube streets. Thanks for the love and support. And thanks for coming, everyone. Yogi truly appreciates your love and support. Blessings, everyone. I certainly do. Sergio says, so you just want to die? I certainly don't want to die, but I know it's going to happen. So I live my life with that presence. I sat with my mother in her last few moments, last few hours, and I sat with my father the very moment that he passed away. Death is a part of life. To deny it means you're denying part of life. You're not truly, truly living. You're only alive when you've embraced the wholeness of everything that life offers. Not to mention that it puts an immediacy on things. If you knew that at this very moment it could be your very last moment, would you waste it being cruel, being unkind, being impolite? Would you waste it on having a discussion that's of no importance? Would you, or would you embrace it? Each breath. This might be my last breath. If you knew for certain this was your last breath, how much attention would you give it? How much love would you experience with that one breath? That the very world itself is feeding you oxygen this moment, and that this moment is all you have. Sergio says, I'm not happy. I'm sorry. You know what? I would say there's a path to happiness. But I'd also say that happiness is the path. If you go out searching for happiness, you're not going to find it. if you don't search for happiness, you're not going to find it. It's a paradox. I spent a large part of my life being unhappy. Things that I do have helped me realize the inherent happiness of life itself, and to give up that search for happiness. And that's in just accepting where things are right now. And knowing that in that acceptance, everything is changing, everything is continuous change, transient. And when you truly give yourself to that, everything begins to change. Flower says she's literally 12 next month. Early happy birthday. Night Watcher says it's okay. Yogi Flower was just talking about suicidal. Flower, if you need to talk. Vaselina says, Herrick, I just dropped the phone in the bag. Keep hearing your voice. Like, where is that coming from? Boy, that must have been scary. The disembodied voice of just a yogi. No longer in his basement, but now he's in a handbag. Vaselina says this whole time. And Destiny says, Sergio, we all must die in order to live. This is true. And, in the Sufi tradition, they say that we have to die while we're alive to truly be alive. And that simply means the acceptance of death. We view death as such a negative thing, but it's just what happens. It's an aspect of life. We don't need to be in a hurry for it, certainly so. Laura says, no, you don't need to worry about me. There are more people who need a little talk. Hey, sometimes we all need a little talk. We all need some kindness, someone to listen to us. Laura says, all I want to say is don't worry about me, which causes me to worry all the more. So the thing with, again, happiness, unhappiness, life, and death, I don't think we have any ultimate answers. It's just surrendering to that paradox. And in that moment of surrender, we gain that sense of peace. Mocha says, my signal has been in and out. I am here. Hello, everyone. I'm going into an appointment in a couple of minutes, so I'll not be participating for about an hour. Well, we're actually going to say goodbye in just a minute. I'm going to sit for my next meditation, my last meditation. Nightwatch says, Mocha, can you help me out? I'm concerned about Flower. Flower says she's good. I'm going to trust Flower. Flower knows how to reach out to us if she ever needs anything. She knows 100% that we'll be there for her. Night Watcher says, Flower said something about being suicidal and now is acting strange. Again, all I can say is that we are there. Flower knows she just has to reach out if she needs to and if she wants to. Eric Lapointe says, sounds good. Other good live. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you, Eric, for being here. Our friend Smitty Deuces 187 is here. Hello from Canada. Like, share it for support. One love, just popping in to show love, brother. I appreciate that. Guys, check out Smitty Deuces 187. Hey, I'm in Tokyo. Best gaming channels on YouTube, bar none. Milka wants to know what's up with Flower. Flower says she's 100% good. I trust Flower. She knows. She knows where to find me if she needed to talk, and she knows that I'd be there to listen. I think Milka's having trouble with her, as she mentioned, the connection spotty. Charlie says, it's nice being here watching you, and my internet has been lagging. So I've been in and out, so I've been here. I appreciate that, Charlie. I'll be back later this evening. We'll do a 5 o'clock. Night Watcher says, Milka, why are you copying and pasting messages? She isn't. When she came in, she says her internet is spotty. So I think it's just repeating. Night Watcher, trust Flower. If she needs help, she'll reach out and ask for help. Night Watcher says, Yogi, don't turn off live. I'm going to have to. And Mocha says she's not copying and pasting, which is what I said. Night Watcher says, please. Night Watcher, trust Flower. Trust her. Flower says, I never need help. Sometimes we all need a little bit of help. And you see what I mean? It's Mocha's spotty connection. Charlie says, I like being here, though. Man, I definitely appreciate you being here, as well as everyone. Night Watcher says, Destiny says, blessings to you, Mocha, and happy Wednesday. Night Watcher says, let's get back to Flower. I don't think Flower wants us to get back to her about that. If she needs to talk, we're there to talk. And she even says, okay, you believe me now? Believe I'm good now. I believe that you are good. Desi says, y'all are the best. You all here are the best. People on these YouTube streets, thanks for the love and support, and thanks for coming, everyone. Much appreciated. And Night Watcher, I know you're generally concerned. Appreciate that. I'm sure that Flower appreciates it as well. Flower knows that I'm her friend and that we would all be there for her. So I'm going to leave it at that, guys. Just at this point, that's all we can do. Flower says you can come on my channel if you want to talk. Night Watcher, There's the invitation. So again, let me just say I appreciate you all being here. It was a fun talk. And we'll talk some more. We'll talk some more about breath work and inspiration, passion, and love, and all that good stuff when we come back. Night Watcher Flower, thank you. Charlie, thank you very much. Shirts, Sergio. Hey, come back and we'll talk some more about happiness. Not in an attempt to convince you to be happy. It's not going to happen, but just to talk about it, just to be in dialogue about it. And Charlie, I really appreciate talking about books with you. Milka, thank you for being here. Destiny, 116 burpees, 22 minutes. A big thank you to Smitty. Big thank you for Eric Lapointe. I always appreciate him being there. Bessalina, thank you very much. C. Payton, I'm going to check for your message in just a few minutes. Squirrel Sniper, thanks for sharing the book suggestion. And I think we have everyone. It is what it is. And Odom, Strawberry King, and the Burpee Champ. That definitely sums you guys up completely. I think I got everyone covered. A few people popped in. Someone popped in to tell me that I look like Moby doing burpees, which really made me laugh. That's the kind of comment. If you're going to come in and say something, be funny, be clever. I can definitely appreciate that. All right. With that, guys, thanks. I'll see everyone later.